Well, you know, you mentioned feeling the effects of the traffic, but I'll tell you, a lot of people are also feeling the effects of the fact that the holidays are now over. You know, the decorations have been put away, the lights are down, and people have returned to their regular 9 to 5 routine. And some people feel, you know, a little let down or a little sad these days. And you could, in fact, be suffering from something that's called post-holiday blues. Now, Sandra Reich is a psychotherapist who has a few tips on what you can do about the post-holiday blues, and she joins me now in studio. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
First of all, let's talk about how common a problem is this in your line of work with people feeling depressed after the holidays?
It's very common indeed. I mean, before we go into the holidays, we put a lot of effort into it. So the sense when it's over is a little bit of a sense, as you said, of disappointment, feeling a little bit lethargic, having to go back to the 5-day work week, no vacation in sight to look forward to. So there is a sense of people feeling kind of down at this time of year.
And is it a serious problem?
It's not a serious problem in terms of if you put some strategies back in place and get sort of back into some good routines. If it continues on for a period of time, that can become a serious problem.
All right, before we get to the strategies that we need to put in place, let's talk about the differentiation between a depression and a post-holiday blue.
Yeah. The key thing you're looking for in terms of difference is, because the symptoms will tend to mimic, the key difference is the time factor.
Okay.
Generally, post-holiday blues will last for a few days. As you start to get back into your routine, you'll start to feel better. A depressive episode is characterized by a period of 2 weeks, having a depressed mood or a loss of interest in pleasure and interest in almost every activity in your life.
Okay.
That's a sign that you're in a depressive episode.
All right, so let's talk about strategies then. People are back to 9 to 5, their lifestyle's no longer frenetic, you know, no more parties to go to, at least for a while, no more holiday in sight for about 3.5 months before the next stat holiday anyways. So let's talk about what people can do.
Well, I think it's important to start with the basics, get back to good habits. So those are sleep, food, and exercise. We start there. We've disrupted our sleep schedules over the holidays. We may not be eating properly. Those are good things to get good habits starting again, and most importantly, exercise. Exercise is one of the best strategies you can do to prevent any kind of blues. So although we may not feel like it, it's time to get back to the gym. Another thing that's important is whatever we are missing now from the holidays, be it spending time with family and friends, going to a movie, reading a good book, taking a course, it's important to find a way to bring that into our day-to-day life. Just because it's not the holidays doesn't mean we're not allowed to have some fun and joy now.
Right.
If you can manage to bring that into your day-to-day life, you not only immunize yourself against future post-holiday blues, but you also develop some good habits of developing joy in your day-to-day life. So.
Okay. So if we're talking about a depressed feeling for a prolonged period of time, that's when you need help. And where do you recommend people go to get the kind of help that they need, or what should they do?
The first thing I think people should do is go to their family doctor. It's always important to rule out any possible physical cause, and he or she can do that. And he or she can also be a great resource for good, talented therapists in the city. If you are suffering with these kind of symptoms, there is an enormous amount of help here in Montreal. I have to say we have a vast amount of talented therapists, so he or she really can put you on the right road. If people need further resources or names of avenues to go, they also can feel free to call me. I'll be glad to send them on the right road.
Okay. Well, I really do want to thank you for coming in today to talk about this, because I think sometimes people are feeling this, you know, and it's good for people to hear that they're not alone, that other people are feeling the very same thing. And I wasn't aware that it was such a common problem. So thanks very much for coming in.
A pleasure.
Sandra Reich is a psychotherapist and life strategist who joined us this morning to talk about post-holiday blues. It's 7:48 -7. We'll be back with more health news just after this.